and welcome to MeowMix, the Carolina Panthers podcast. My name is Steven.
My name is Jerry. Steelers at Panthers, August 27th at 7 p.m. at Bank of America Stadium.
It's 7:30.
7:30?
Right? 7:30 p.m. at the Vault.
The Ticketmaster says 7 p.m., so that's where I got my information. It could be 7.
I saw it on ESPN, I think. Yeah, it's after 7 or after. How about that? Somewhere around 7 o'clock. But yes, it is in the evening. So at the beautiful artificial turf of Bank of America Stadium.
Yes. Now, unfortunately, we do not get to see Big Ben or Najee Harris. They're not expected to play. They're just sitting them. I completely understand with Big Ben getting sat here. The guy is...
He played a lot in the last game.
Okay.
Big Ben did. So it's kind of the opposite of how the Panthers have been handling their starters. The Steelers played their starters in the first couple of games, and the Panthers didn't really. So it's interesting how different teams are handling the preseason. Wildly different this year with the 3-game preseason and the kind of the long break after the third game. It's kind of interesting. So, but yeah, I'm glad that the one that you and I are going to, Jerry, is the one where the starters are going to play for the Panthers.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to watch Sam Darnold and see how he throws after he does one series. I want to see him get into a rhythm.
Yeah.
2 pass plays is not a rhythm. I mean, one was a throwaway, which was a great play at that time. Everybody was covered.
Yeah. Good decision.
So, but yeah, I just want to see him kind of get into the groove of it. I'm not sure if CMC will play. I heard rumors that he may play like a snap or two, but nothing major.
Honestly, if he's only going to play a snap or two, don't play him.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't even take the chance. If you're not going to play him with the rest of the starters, for the whole time, just don't put him out there. He doesn't need it. He's the one guy I think on offense that doesn't need it.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's the only guy that I would sit immediately. I'd just be like, yeah.
Yeah. And you could say the same thing about DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, but they need to build that timing with Darnold.
Yes, I agree. And that's why I would say CMC is the only one. I would play Brian Burns. I would play all of our defensive stars.
Yep.
But CMC doesn't need to take those extra hits. I'll put it that way. Even on passing down, 100%. He's going to have to block. He's going to have to take hits. Let's keep him rested.
He's the guy that if he's getting the ball, he's 100% getting hit. So he's the guy. But on the other side, Roethlisberger sitting, it's going to be the Dwayne Haskins show. So the defense is going to have some opportunities.
Oh, yeah. Former of the Washington football team. Started out last year as a starter, struggled. He even almost came here, supposedly, but he opted to go to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, there was some talk. Well, now, would you have rather had Dwayne Haskins here as a backup to Sam Darnold than what we currently have on the roster?
I think yes.
Yeah, I think so too, because he's still really young and
you never know. Maybe he could put it together. That's the thing with I don't know if PJ Walker or Will Grier can put it together to be I think Dwayne Haskins still has potential to become a starter somewhere else. I don't see that with Will Grier and PJ Walker at this time. Will Grier had a really good game last week, and I'm really kind of excited to watch that battle continue on this week.
Yeah.
Granted, will only be for a quarter each.
Right. Well, real quick on Haskins, I'm kind of excited to see what he does in this game because I've kind of always rooted for the guy, and I'm hoping that he plays well, and it could be very similar to like a Jameis situation where a change of scenery, a different coaching staff, different scheme, then he starts playing well, and then we saw Jameis Monday night looked great out there with the Saints, which is a real bummer for Panthers fans because this looks like the Saints might still be good. But
did Jameis make the smartest move last season and bet on himself winning the job after Drew Brees retired and learned from Drew Brees? It could have happened.
Yeah, I mean,
He took
he,
only $1 million last year. So
yeah, yeah. Taysom Hill, by the way, looks terrible. But this is not. We're not talking about the Saints right now.
yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, back to what you were saying about the Panthers offense. Yeah, Darnold getting into the rhythm is probably the thing that I'm most excited to watch and hope that it happens. I'm going to assume that Steelers are probably not going to play their, full defensive starters the whole first half.
Yeah.
I would bet that they're going to maybe play them for a series or two and then pull them out. So I'm hoping that the Panthers first team offense can really get into sync, score some touchdowns.
Yes,
Is what
touchdowns. I want to see push from that offensive line because I
Mm-hmm.
rewatched those goal line series and they kept getting pushed back. I know Chuba Hubbard's not Christian McCaffrey, but it's even hard for Christian McCaffrey to get in the end zone when he's getting hit at the 3-yard line by the defensive line.
And
You
Matt
know,
Rule did address that. He did say that they didn't put any of their goal line stuff in the in that preseason game. They weren't running any goal line
that's
plays.
fine. The
They were just
offensive line
trying to,
still
yeah.
got no push. They got
Right.
pushed back. That's the
Well,
problem.
that was Matt Rule's excuse. Was, oh, we weren't even playing our goal line plays. Not Doesn't need to worry about it. Well, yeah, I think we do need to worry about it because they look terrible. Even if they were just trying to protect the runner and do a normal running play,
It didn't
Hubbard
work.
was getting nothing. He was going nowhere.
Yeah, he was getting hit behind the line and falling forward to get back to the line.
And perhaps in a real game, they would have done an end around or a screen or something
but that
fool
worries
the
me.
defense.
That worries me more. That means the all line is definitely not good. That's what I'm saying. Is I want to see some push from that offensive line. I mean, back in the day, you line them up and you say my guys are bigger and stronger and smart, better than your guys. And this team doesn't. I don't think can do that right now.
We know that's not the case with
So
our guys, unfortunately. And we'll go over our depth chart here in a bit. But the Panthers, they were without some starters on the offensive line, last week. So I think Paradis and John Miller and Cam Irving all were not playing. So it wasn't our best guys out there, and it's not a very deep offensive line, unfortunately.
no, it's not.
Which
No.
again we will talk about soon.
Now, one thing I do want to say is I've seen this the other teams in the preseason kind of succeed in running, even on our first string and second string defenses. I want to see them stop this running back from Pittsburgh. They have a running back competition right now to make the roster. Basically, Najee Harris is solid. Everybody else is still fighting for a position. I want to make sure that they stop these guys from getting, 4 or 5 yards a run because it was a problem last year and it looked like it was going to be a problem last week, and they still rushed for a lot of yards last week.
Yeah, I mean, stopping the run and getting off the field on third down. Those are defensively, those are the two main things I'm looking at because I really don't have any doubt that they'll be able to get to the quarterback during the regular season. I mean, that defensive line is strong.
Very
so they're
strong.
going to be able to they're going to be able to get to the quarterback. So that, I'm excited to see that, but it's not something I'm like honing in on in the preseason. But stopping the run, getting off the field on third down, those were the two things that killed us last year. Getting off the field on third down, so important. And the Panthers were terrible at it last year. I think they were last in the league.
They were.
And it has not looked good in the preseason so far. And again, I know the first team defense hasn't played. They haven't done their, fancy plays or whatever. But man, show me something. Get me excited about something.
See, I felt like I got excited for the first string defense against Baltimore because they were flying around making plays. The only issue I had was they were still getting kind of ran on. And they held them to 3 points in the first half. And that's first and second string there and part of third. So I felt pretty good about that. I just felt that the run defense wasn't there.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean, the first team defense got the turnovers. They weren't really out there on the field that long. Again, they got the turnover. Get them off the field while the feelings are good. I'm completely fine with that. So, yeah, I mean, we haven't seen a lot of the first team defense. What we have seen has been great. So
Yeah.
if they could get a turnover every time they play, every series, that would be amazing.
Do you think
Love
they'll
that.
actually play longer than 2 or 3 series, or do you think it's going to be 2, 3
I
series
think,
and they're
yeah,
out?
I think they'll play at least a quarter and then potentially into the second quarter. I'm hoping that the offense plays the full first half. I would be fine getting the defense out of there after the first quarter,
Yeah.
but I'd like
I,
to see. I do think they will play most of the first quarter, if not all the first quarter.
I hope so, because
Yeah.
I would like to see, like I said, the defense. I want to see J.C. Horn. He may had a
Mm-hmm.
pass breakup in his very limited action last week. Just want to see our rookie out there.
Yeah.
Granted, if he's not being targeted, that's a good thing.
Right. Sure. Yeah. If you can shut down one side of the field as a rookie, then that's amazing. Yeah. Right. And speaking of rookies, something I really want to see is how Terrace Marshall specifically does with this first team offense, because I'm assuming he's going to be out there with that first team offense a decent amount.
Yeah.
Shi Smith probably not going to be
No.
out there with the first team offense, but Marshall should be. So that's something else that I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, I agree. I'm looking forward to that as well. See, how Terrace Marshall does. Kind of just see how it goes. I also kind of want to see how Darnold. They have a slot corner issue right now. It's a competition. I kind of want to see
Mm-hmm.
if Darnold maybe see that, especially if Terrace Marshall's out there in the slot or David Moore. I want to see if he kind of picks that area of the ball, because if Joe Hayden plays, I mean, Joe Hayden's a great corner on.
Sure. Yeah.
So just kind of see where he goes with the ball. Want to see if maybe he finds the weakness and tries to go for it. And hey, for Pittsburgh fans, I'm sure they want to see if their guys can hold up, because we have a good
Yeah.
three-headed monster here at receiver.
And we haven't even mentioned Dan Arnold yet, who, we could get to see
Yes.
that Darnold to Arnold connection that we've been hearing about all training camp. That, probably the last part of this offense that I want to talk about is just to see he and Trimble, hoping to get Trimble out there, even if it's just for some blocking plays, some run plays, something like that, see how his blocking looks in the NFL. But yeah, the Darnold to Arnold connection is, as we know, I have not been an Ian Thomas supporter or fan for the last several years. So I'm really hoping that Arnold gives me what I'm looking for from this tight end position, which is, it doesn't have to be Greg Olsen,
No.
who showed up at practice today, by the way.
With
But
Luke Kuechly.
Yeah. 75% of Greg Olsen would be awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That'd be great.
Greg Olsen, probably the best tight end this franchise has ever had. So
Wesley Walls would beg to differ. I'm just kidding. I think so.
I mean,
Best receiving tight end for sure.
yeah, different eras. I mean, I hate saying it was
Of
probably like
course, yeah.
15 years, but different eras.
Well, yeah. I mean, the tight end was a different position back then.
Yep. Is there anything else you're really looking forward to watching in this game?
Yeah. I mean, on defense, I want to see how Frankie Louvu is integrated into that first team defense, if he is. I kind of want to see him. Yeah, Jermaine Carter as well has been named the starter at middle linebacker. So I do want to see Perryman play as well if he's healthy. I want to see him get out there, and that could be a really good middle linebacking core, Carter and Perryman, if Perryman stays healthy. And honestly, keeping Perryman off the field, for maybe 50-60% of the snaps he's out there is going to help him stay healthy.
Yeah.
So that, this man, we'll get into it in our roster breakdown, but this defense, dude, they're stacked everywhere almost. Like,
yeah,
safety position is really the only position that I just don't think they are like top tier.
No, in the cornerbacks, I'm very excited. I'm excited for our quarterbacks with Dante Jackson, J.C. Horn, A.J. Bouye.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
Hey, 53-man roster. Little snippet there. Those three make it.
Yeah. Guess what? Shocker. Spoiler alert. And then I guess the final thing for me is going to be that place kicker competition now. That it is now a competition between Sly and Eberle. So I still think Sly is going to win it out. I think Sly will be perfect in this game and look really good. And maybe you might say fool the coaching staff into keeping him around. I mean, but yeah, I think that's kind of the last thing I'm looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, I could see that too. I want to, on special teams, I would like to see the returners actually get some motivation, momentum, and get something.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like this team under Chase Blackburn has never had a return man that can do anything. I know it was last year and the couple years before that with Ron Rivera, they kept him over. Yeah. I was shocked he stayed on because I don't think he was the greatest coordinator.
Well, special teams was bad last year.
Yeah, and it was bad before the year before that. So I want to see Shi Smith, David Moore. I want to see J.C. Saunders. I want to see one of those guys step up and grab that return position where you're like, hey, he may be able to return at this snap. He has some room. And I haven't had that feeling with this special teams in years.
Well, and some of that's going to be getting off on third down and forcing the team to actually punt the ball, like we talked about before. So not been a lot of opportunities, to your point, for anything to happen, certainly in the preseason and even last season. So, all right, well, let's see. Do we want to do final score prediction here?
Sure, we might as well do that.
Yeah, I think the Panthers finally get a win. Especially, I think that the first team Panthers hopefully is going to be better than the second team Steelers, which I'm imagining we're going to see most of here. So I'm going to go Panthers 28, Steelers 14.
I will do Panthers. I'm going crazy. 30, putting out 30 points, even though they have only scored one touchdown so far. And I am going Steelers 13, but part of this is also because they're not starting some of their starters, and I think that could.
Yeah, of course. I think that's yeah.
All right. We will be back on Saturday because we will be going to the game. It'll be my birthday. I will probably be in no shape to comment on anything on Friday night when I get home around midnight. So we want to thank everyone for listening. If you like the show, please let your friends know. Please follow us on Twitter at MeowMix Podcast. If you have any questions or comments, you can email us at mailbag@meowmixpodcast.com. And if you leave us a 5-star review with a comment on Apple Podcasts, we'll read it on the show. Please like and subscribe on YouTube. We forgot to do a beer bet.
Beer bet. Joey Sly versus Edelberg. What was his name? Eberle.
Utah.
Who kicks more? Who kicks more field goals in the preseason game? I'm gonna go Sly.
I'll go Utah State guy.
All right, Utah State guy. All right. So yeah, until Saturday, everyone, take it easy, stay safe out there, and keep pounding.